do you, man?
All right, Patreon. For you this time, we are recording our whole episode with just the three of us.
Aha.
Happy birthday.
It's almost my birthday.
It is
It's
almost
my
your
birthday present.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yes. To everybody. Happy birthday.
All right. What are we talking about?
Well, we
already started.
Yeah.
Okay. Yes.
So what we're going to be talking about is we're reviewing our book list from 2021 to
And maybe some other goals if we run out of time.
and be accountable for goals that we made at the beginning of the year. And it's just going to be delightful.
Really delightful.
Yeah,
Maybe.
absolutely.
All right. So
Okay.
how are we doing this?
Okay, so we both read 4.5 books and you
Yes.
read 3.5 books.
Yes.
So let's just start at the very beginning. What a very good place to start. It begins by doing, how does that go? 1, 2,
Start
3.
at the very
Do, re,
beginning.
mi.
A very good place to start.
When you sing, you begin. Oh no, when you
Oh,
read, you begin with A, B, C. When you sing, you begin with
Do, re, mi.
Do, re, mi.
Just the first few notes just happened to me. I have not seen that movie in so long.
We should
That's a
watch
good
it.
one.
That's a good movie.
Is that a Christmas movie?
It should be.
It's shown around Christmas a lot, but it's not. No,
And-
it's
should
not.
But favorite things is suddenly a Christmas song.
So it should be.
That's true.
By virtue
Because
of
they
that.
say snowflakes once in the song, therefore
Yeah.
it's Christmas.
That is true.
If you're in Austria, I'm pretty sure snowflakes apply from like September through May.
Well, that's like that George Michael song about love. That has nothing to do with Christmas. This Christmas.
Well, it's
Give you
this
my
Christmas.
heart.
You just said Christmas.
What about
It's the word,
Cookie, you know
Christmas.
another one that they make a Christmas song? And I think to myself,
Oh.
what a wonderful world. That's a Christmas song.
It is.
That is on my not Christmas playlist
No.
Yeah.
that I'm
I'll
making for
accept
people
that.
like you.
Right.
But yeah, there are some Christmas songs that I'm like, that's a stretch.
Yeah.
Well, we went on a tangent. That was
Yeah.
that whole
No, it was, had
conversation
nothing to
was
do
a
with the
stretch.
books that we read this year.
Okay, let's talk about the books we read this year.
'Kay.
Let's just start with any old thing. The
Okay.
first one listed on our list. What
Okay.
was yours?
I think the first one on my list was Six Crows.
And did you read it?
I did read it.
And?
I liked it. I didn't love it. It was a little on the dark side.
What's it about?
side.
Like what genre? I don't even know.
This is
Like
like young adult
fantasy.
fantasy. isn't
Yeah,
it?
young adult fantasy. Yeah, it's like
Mhm.
people that have, like, some people have some extra powers. Grisha that have some extra
Oh,
powers.
Grisha.
And then other people don't. But it's like these thieves that you can't quite decide if they're good or bad, and they have this job to do. Anyway, I thought it was entertaining, not like 5-star.
Yeah.
But there was a sequel that you had to read. Like, I didn't realize after you got done with that, it was like the story was only halfway over. So then the Crooked Kingdom was the sequel.
Did you read that?
Duology, so of course I had to read that one.
Naturally.
And so it was fun. But I know I've already talked
Yeah,
about this
you
on the
mentioned
podcast.
this.
So I didn't realize that there's a whole nother trilogy that actually comes. What's wrong?
Your mic isn't very loud.
Oh, I'm probably not talking into it enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, just look straight ahead. Just look at
Yeah,
the people. The people
there it
want to
is.
see your face.
All right.
Yeah, that's the thing.
There's a whole trilogy that comes before it.
Oh my gosh.
And I actually liked that one better.
Oh yeah.
And
maybe
that's
you
the
did
one that
mention
there
this.
is the show on Netflix
Oh,
called.
okay. Which have you watched yet?
Yes, I have. Shadow,
Shadow
and
and
Bone.
Bones. And did you like it?
And I liked it. The book is better. But the problem with Shadow and Bone on Netflix is they combine both book series. So if I hadn't had read,
Oh, you would have
I
been
would
lost.
probably been kind of confused because it combines both of those series.
Well, I will have you know that I bought Shadow and Bone for a Christmas present for one of my kids.
Yeah, I
The
thought Shadow and
Netflix
Bone was
series?
good.
No, the book.
Oh, the book's called.
Because I
Shadow
give,
and
yeah,
Bone.
they all get a book, right?
Well, this is interesting though. You said the books aren't that good, but the books are better than the Netflix series. So the Netflix story must be crap.
No, I
and the
thought
books are
Six
just
Crows
average.
was just okay, but I liked
But
you
Shadow,
like Shadow
and
and
Bone.
Bone.
Yes.
Okay. Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I
Okay.
didn't even realize when I put down Six Crows, I didn't know I was going down a whole rabbit
You
hole
went
of
down a,
5 books.
Yeah.
You really committed to something so much
well, no
more.
wonder you only finished 3.5. You
I
actually
know.
read
No.
81 books.
Yeah, you did.
Like, every book I read had 5 other books that I had to read with it, so of course I can't not.
Okay, well
Yeah, okay.
with this review, I've decided not to read any of them, just based upon what you've said here today.
If you
So-
like young adult fantasy, you will like Shadow and Bone.
Okay.
I'm gonna stop right there.
Boom.
Yeah.
Period.
My kid is going to like it.
Okay.
I think it's good.
Good. Okay.
You.
My first book
Mm-hmm.
was The Little Book of Hulga,
Hoga.
which we interviewed about, which was
Yes.
great.
Yes.
And the book was great. You know I love me some Hug.
I need to read it because I have decided
You're not
that, okay, first of all, there's only like a couple windows in my house right now that have any kind of blinds or drapes because we're getting all new windows.
Ooh.
And we thought it was going to happen earlier, so we took everything down. So now time change happened. So now it's like dark, pitch black at 5, it seems like. So I'm like depressed. So I go into the front room and I'm like, everyone come for Huga. We have to do the Huga. Come for the Huga. And they come and I'm like, let's read the Huga. Let's do it.
I don't know
So-
if the, like,
It's
like
for
a
Bulgarian or
Russian.
something.
What is Huga?
I need more curtains. Then it will sound Danish
That's
more than
okay.
no.
More
But
than
Cozy?
more than
no,
an angry
I
Russian.
really do want to read that.
Right
No,
now
it
it's
was
the
cute.
Cold War.
It was, yes. She's not moved into Huga yet.
Okay.
She's in the Cold War.
What did you like about it?
I like, well, you know, I just am all intrigued and love the whole Scandinavian
Mhm.
thing. I just think it's so lovely, and I just love the outdoors, and I want my kids to frolic with me, and they don't, and light candles and blankets. And this is really why Huga is so appealing to me, I think. I have a really hard time just sitting down. Just sitting down and playing games even is really hard. Sitting down and watching a movie, they all make me feel very anxious. Like I have a lot of like, I'm being lazy thoughts.
Okay.
And so I don't ever really enjoy that. But if I say it's Huga night and it's a thing, and it's like we've lit candles, we've made it an
Yes.
event, then for me it's a lot easier to just enjoy it. I don't feel
So
like
you're
I'm
not
just
just a
being
slob.
lazy. I'm not a slob
Right.
that just sits and does nothing with her life.
Yes.
Which Danny always mocks me because like just on Saturday I woke up and ran a half marathon, and then I came home and we built a fence, and then we put siding on the house, and at 4 o'clock we were done, and he's like, let's relax, and I was like, relax? Danny, I haven't done anything. And he's like, okay, let's review what happened here today. And I'm like, oh, yeah, I guess, okay. But do you think we should paint the living room? And like, there's no rationale to it, right?
Yeah.
That's a lot of things.
Yeah.
But until I light a candle and call it Huga, I feel very guilty.
Then I bet Danny loves Huga.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
He's buying elk pelts. He's got antlers everywhere.
Growing out his beard.
So he's like,
He's wearing moccasins,
every
like
day he walks in with a
animal
wool
moccasins.
sweater. He like has wool on and socks. I'm like, what is happening? He's sweating. He's just drenched in sweat. It's like, what's
It's
going on?
Huga time.
It's
It's
Huga.
Huga.
Sit
It's
down.
Huga.
Let's just sit down. Stop painting things. So I liked it. It's just short. It's like,
Okay.
I feel like it's not like you're gonna sit down and like
Mhm.
get all this
Yes.
profound knowledge. It's
Yes.
just a light, easy. It's a good read.
All right.
4 stars.
All right. Mine was The Alchemist.
Oh, did you read it?
I did read The Alchemist. Yes.
Camille, touch my hand.
Hello.
Do you know how much I love that book?
Okay, why don't you tell me why you loved it? What were the reasons why you loved it?
Do you remember when we read that
I
book?
do remember.
Yes. Tell me why you loved it.
I just felt like the whole thing was like a deep dive into what, I don't know. It's been so many years, but I just remember loving it.
Yeah.
And him, I mean, like, what's he gonna find? Like, what is the meaning?
Yeah.
What is it?
Yeah.
Did you feel like that?
It was a great parable. It was
It's a
an
great
enjoyable read. I
Did you listen?
listened, and I was painting doors.
I think I listened. Probably.
Yeah,
don't
I
think
listened. I was painting. We were getting a lot of new doors, so I was painting doors and I was listening, and it was enjoyable. It was good. I was curious about what was going to happen. It wouldn't be like on my top 10,
Okay.
but like I didn't dislike it. In
That
any
must
way.
be
thought it
worth,
was
I think I need a
interesting.
reread on that.
Yeah.
Because I can't actually remember like the
Mhm.
storyline very well or anything.
Mhm.
I just remember feeling like, man, that was a great book.
You know, it was interesting because I didn't know anything about it. Apparently,
Yeah.
nothing. I had no idea it was going to be about a sheep herder and
All the great books
and
are.
I know, and finding
Shepherds
money.
are where it's at.
I know, I'm finding money, but it
Yeah.
was a fun. The thing that I did love about it, actually, is that I loved that he incorporated so many different countries' faith traditions.
Yeah, that was
To
interesting.
show that it doesn't matter if you're from Spain and you end in Morocco or like an African nation or a Middle Eastern nation, that their faith beliefs were powerful And although you call God by different names, that doesn't mean that God doesn't respond to those. And so, like, I really loved seeing the faithful people that he encountered in every different culture. So that part of it, I really thought that is really profound. I liked that so much because so often in our world we really are very single focused in, you know, this is what I believe, and those who don't believe that, well, they're screwed up, you know what I mean? But he was going into different cultures with different languages, calling God by different names, believing different things, but still in the end, there really was one God that was speaking to them all. So I did like that.
I don't remember a thing about that book. Nothing that you said sounds familiar to me, but I've read that book.
Yeah, well, it's short. It's very short. It's not a long book, and it's not a hard read, and it would be actually a really good discussion to read with kids.
Oh.
That would actually be a really good discussion. I never thought about that until this moment, but I thought, you know, just the idea that all men are created equal, right? That all of us have these beliefs that are special to us, and it's okay if it's not your belief.
Yeah.
So I love that commonality of the human race.
This is on my reread list.
Okay.
Because I remember adoring it, and now you're saying all these things that I'm like, I don't remember any of that.
Yeah, that's what really like hit me.
Maybe we didn't read the same book.
Is it a different alchemist? Did we
There
read
was only
The
one.
Alchemist?
That's
It's different from The
That
Alchemist.
chemist
Mine is all
named Al.
about chemistry.
The Al named chemist.
Yeah.
Wait, the chemist named Al.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah,
about it.
yeah, that's the story I
Yes.
remember.
It's about a cat.
That was a good one. Wait, what's the dang Christmas book I always loved that I can't ever remember?
The Little Shepherd, or the Shepherd.
It's time to read it again. It's about a shepherd, and all the great stories are. What is it called?
I
Little
need my
Shepherd Boy?
phone, which is it's called like something The Little Shepherd, or The Gift of the Shepherd, or
But it's a different author, because if you look it up on Amazon, it'll pull up a different Gift of the Shepherd. All right, we're gonna find this out because it's a great. I mean, if we're into shepherd books, which
Yeah, we
let's be
clearly
honest,
are right
ladies,
now.
who's
the
not
Bible.
heard of it, and it's a great Christmas story.
Awesome.
Yes.
But
What's it called?
as a reminder, last time I read it, I was pregnant, so it
Yeah.
might be horrible. And
I
it was
wasn't
very
pregnant, and
hormonal.
I read it, and it's just a cute Christmas read.
Ooh, it's lovely.
If you're gonna do Hygge through
Hygge.
Christmas, you could read that with your kids.
The Alchemist or the Shepherd Boy?
Both.
Okay.
That meaning both.
Okay.
And it would
And
be
sit with the
and sit with the
reindeer
fire
pelt.
and
Oh, the elk.
yeah, and your
Look
bearded
up
husband.
the Shepherd. Make sure we've got the right
Okay.
one. Pause, Patreon.
Patreon. I don't know what I'm looking up.
Just look up
On
Shepherd.
Amazon?
The Little Shepherd.
The Littlest Shepherd. Oh,
The
wait a
Littlest
minute.
Shepherd.
That's-
The Littlest
I think that's
Is
Shepherd?
that what it is?
I've heard of that.
He wasn't that little. He was married.
Oh,
He was?
was he a midget?
Remember his wife was having the baby and it was gonna die and he had to go into Bethlehem?
I don't remember this story either. I read the other one.
I've read all the books, but I don't remember a thing.
Okay, The Littlest Shepherd is a picture book that Andrea really enjoys. The book I'm talking about is
The
about...
Good No, not The Good Shepherd.
What is it? Did your mom know?
No, John would know.
Oh,
Was she? That was so many years ago.
What was that? I have it at home. The Gift of the Shepherd?
put the Shepherd Christmas book.
The Shepherd, which is like every Christmas book ever. Aren't you glad we edit this stuff out?
This is why we don't usually film the whole thing. But it's so
Ah,
worth
here it
right?
is.
Okay.
Construction site Merry and Bright. It's about the. I'm joking.
Oh my gosh! Like,
Like,
both.
I know that one doesn't sound
I was
familiar.
like, what are you talking about?
That's the first book that came up with the backhoe lifting up a Christmas tree, or the excavator. Amish Christmas Twins? A perfect Amish romance? I did. Pretty Little Liars, that came up. Shepherd Abiding, In God We Trust. Guys.
Oh, wow.
Anyways,
Forget it.
who cares? Who cares? It's a great shepherd book.
And it
All
wasn't
right.
on our list.
What was your next book?
Okay, my next book I have on my list is Unorthodox.
What is that?
So this is a story of a a girl. It's a true story, and so I think it's like a memoir of hers or autobiography. I don't know. What's the difference between those two? What's the difference between a memoir and an autobiography?
I feel like a memoir maybe is just remembrances, or maybe shorter. I don't know, actually.
Yeah.
No, we don't know what it is, but it's true.
We don't know what book it is. We don't know what the story's about.
We don't even know if we've read it. That doesn't sound at all familiar to me.
It's about a girl born into the Orthodox Jewish family.
What
Okay.
year are we talking?
Modern-ish time.
Okay.
Like it's modern time.
Okay.
Okay.
And it
Is it true?
is-
Yes,
it's
it's
a
true
true
memoir.
story.
Which
And
is kind of
I-
like a
I don't know.
autobiography.
Yeah, memoir/autobiography. And I had no idea how strict that
Oh.
religion can be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so
Like Orthodox.
this is my half. I've
Okay.
only gotten halfway through because it's
Oh.
not like a read so far, at least. It's definitely not a read that you just sit down and fly through. Like it's kind of slow and heavy, and so I've only got halfway through it. I do want to finish it, but because I know she leaves.
Oh.
She gets out of the religion, and so, but yeah, like just the rules that they have are pretty amazing, and the restrictions
Yeah.
that it made on her life. But I really can't tell you much more than that because I haven't finished it yet. So I would say it's fascinating, but it is a slow read.
Okay.
No, it's not like a Hallmark movie.
No,
Yeah.
no, like it's educational and eye-opening, but
Is she bashing on Orthodox Jewish people?
not yet.
Okay, that's
I mean, there is some negativity, like it is affecting her life, the negativity. And that's the thing is that I can't tell if what she went through is
Sure.
for every Orthodox family or if
Sure.
it's like uneducated, where, you
Right.
know, like this girl was raised in a fanatical, religion that's not like that with every religion.
Yeah.
And so I can't tell if her family was fanatical in the Orthodox Jewish religion or if that's how it all is. So that's,
Yeah.
and maybe I'll never know that.
Maybe you'll never know.
So
Find an Orthodox Jewish friend.
and say, hey, is this true?
Tell me.
Yeah.
Aw.
So I don't
Write
know,
your own memoir, lady.
but /autobiography.
All right. Well, speaking of memoir/autobiographies, my second one, or maybe this is a biography. I have no idea. It's a true story about Viktor Frankl,
Oh, yes.
the
Oh,
man's
yes.
search for meaning.
Yes. How was that?
Oh, fantastic! Of course.
Was it?
Of course.
Yes.
He was in a concentration camp.
Yeah.
Enough said. I
Yeah.
loved it.
Right.
It was so great because, well, then he went on to be a psychologist. I think the thing is, we've talked about a lot of these
Yes,
on different
yes.
episodes because when we finish them, we share. But like, it was just such a great, just a perspective of like, they had really bad circumstance
Yeah.
and all the things that he could learn from those horrible things. And I do think it's like, he's never saying like, quit whining. Your life is easy. Look at what all of us went through. But it's just a really great, like, how meaning in your life can change everything. The people that had meaning in the camps versus the people that didn't. The people that felt like there was a purpose, felt like there was a reason to survive, versus the people that didn't. And he just like tells really interesting stories about like when you saw someone light a cigarette, like you knew, like the next day they'd be dead, they'd given up, because everybody held on to a cigarette that they were gonna smoke when they got out. And like just and they just he could watch people and observe, and he'd already been in school to I can't remember exactly what, but be a psychologist of some variety. And so like he already had this knowledge, and then he went into a camp and could kind of like see
Oh.
this different perspective.
Right.
It's just super interesting about just like seeing people and like being aware that they've given up. Like they're sitting there by the next day, he's like, for sure they would be dead.
Wow.
And they were. And
This one is on
it's
our
great.
book club list for next year,
Oh,
so
you
we're
guys-
all
Yeah.
gonna be
You
reading
guys
it
are
and
gonna love
discussing
it.
it.
I own it, but I didn't buy it. Just for the record,
Well,
someone
good.
gave it to me,
Thank
and I
goodness.
need to read it.
But
Yes,
what's gonna
I've been
happen
wanting to
is
read it.
book club's gonna roll around. You're gonna forget where it was, and then
I'm
you're
gonna
gonna
go buy it.
At some point, Camille will be buying this book. She doesn't want to. It's just it's like a
I'll say,
compulsion that has to
I
happen.
don't remember that book at all.
Yeah. Did we read that?
Did we? I
Is
don't
that
even
an
know. I think
autobiography?
it's a memoir,
It
actually.
was fantastic. It's short too. Like it's a pretty short. I mean, I would say it's an easy read because
Yeah,
I mean,
it's heavy.
it's heavy. But you guys know those heavy books just light me
I
right
know.
up.
They do.
I know.
The War That Saved My Life is my next one. And we did that for book club.
Yes.
And I loved it.
It
That
was
was,
so
I
cute.
felt
It
like
was a
that was
great
one of
book.
the,
Has anyone read the second one? Did we?
It was so good I didn't read the
No.
second one.
I know, I was a little worried about reading
I
the
was
second
kind of scared
one.
too because every review I read that says it's not as good as the first, but it's good.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, then I don't wanna waste
know
my
about
time.
that. Yeah.
I'm an important person. I got stuff. I can't
Yeah,
just be reading
totally.
kind of good books.
No.
Yeah. No, I don't. I will mention here because this book was awesome, and it reminded me a lot of another book series, A Long Way from Chicago and
Oh,
You're
yeah.
Down Yonder, and those ones I just loved as well. So if you like this one, if you have read it, those ones are good, and if you read those, you should read this one if you haven't.
I don't know why this one's not used in like elementary school.
Oh yeah, no, I agree. It was
because like we
compelling.
read Number the Stars. Like I
Mhm.
don't feel like this one was so hard that kids couldn't.
Yes,
Read
I
it.
agree.
Or like maybe not elementary school, for sure middle school though. Like why? I just think it's not used as much as it should be in the
Oh
schools.
yeah, and there were
And
some
when I'm the
amazing
principal-
moments. Yeah, like this book
I'm gonna
blew
change
me
things.
away. Like all of the kids going on the train. That many kids, an exodus of that many,
Yeah.
out into the country to who knows where, and like when the battle came and she was
Oh, helping all the
helping
people.
Yes, it was just eye
It was
opening.
great.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so I
I
love
love
that
that
one. That's a great one to read with your elementary school age kids.
Loved it.
All right, with the next one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Keep 'em
Number
coming.
3 was Ichabod for me.
Oh.
I want to know about this one.
Well, I do too.
Is this one you haven't
You haven't
read?
gotten to this one.
I can't get it. Like you would think a
Oh.
J.K. Rowling book would be so easily accessible,
Yeah.
which makes me think it's not very good.
I've heard
Because
it's not very good.
Okay.
I
Right?
feel like if she put out this, and that's why I thought, well, if she has a new book, I definitely want to read it.
Yeah.
So I put it on my list, and I haven't been able to get it on my like online library, which
Uh-huh.
we now know that I've stopped.
Yeah, we do.
I
know
gave
that
up
now.
my online reading, so going to the library, and I haven't put in an interlibrary loan for it. I'm sure I could probably get it once I do. But like the fact that it's not in my library, and I haven't heard anybody talk about it,
Yeah.
I guess I kind of lost my excitement to read it.
Well.
So I just think maybe she was just a one and done Harry Potter, and
Well,
that
but
was
this is my question. I've heard it's not good from people, that they were
Yeah.
so disappointed they didn't like it. But is it like a great book, but since they've read Harry
Right.
Potter, it's just not as good?
Right. So let's ask these guys.
Hey, you guys.
Listening, have you read it? Did you like it? Tell
Give
us.
some reviews.
Yeah.
I don't like Harry Potter, so maybe I'd love it. Because I'm not
I
comparing
loved Harry
it.
Potter, and I love fantasy. I love, so I thought, oh, I bet I will love this book.
Mhm.
But
Did-
yeah, I haven't got a hold of it yet. So
Did you guys see that she wrote a Christmas book? The
No.
Christmas Pig.
no.
I've seen it at Sam's Club and at bookstores lately.
Really?
And I'm like, should I buy that? But then I feel like a traitor because I'm not like really a fan. I'm not like we're not like Harry Potter
You're just
people.
definitely
fangirling,
shouldn't
you know.
buy it.
And so then I'm you deserve it. Get out of this house. So
Yeah,
maybe
you're
you guys
right.
should read it.
Okay, I'll read it. I'll read about
I
it.
didn't know if you
Camille
guys
will
had
buy
heard
it.
about it. Can
I
we
already
buy
bought it
at Sam's
last
Club
week.
tonight? Let's buy it at Sam's Club tonight.
We'll look at it.
Let's just buy it.
Maybe.
Do you want me to do it? Let's just do it. Okay. So you haven't read that one.
I didn't read
And
that one. That
maybe
was
you
my
will,
one that
and
I
are
did
you
not read.
Committed to or not committed to reading it?
I will read it if I get it.
If
Yeah.
someone hands it to
But
you.
what if someone says, no, it was really good?
Then I'll definitely read it.
That's what I'm saying. Okay.
That's
But
what
I
she
will
said.
probably read it even if somebody doesn't say it, just because I'm curious. But yeah, like
What about the Christmas Pig?
that doesn't sound exciting to me.
Well, it's okay. I mean, it's your art author that you like. All right. What about I read As Bright as Heaven.
Haven't heard that one.
That one is the same lady who wrote The Nature of Fragile Things.
Oh.
And
What was this one about?
this one was about the influenza pandemic in Philadelphia in early
Okay,
1900s.
yes.
I really liked it. I actually really, really enjoyed it. I love anything historical fiction. You know they bring that in and I'm in. The ending, I was like, ugh, why you gotta do that? But here's what I found. Susan Messenger.
Yeah.
Mesner.
Mesner.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah.
I've read 3 or 4 of her books now. And I have seen a trend that they're all historical fiction elements. Like they're all
Yes.
these fake stories, but then she brings in history, which that part I love. And I feel like she really gets me the 3/4 of the way in, and then the ending I'm always like, okay.
Did you feel like that about The Nature of
A little
Fragile
bit.
Things? Did you?
Yeah.
Really, I liked how
I
the
really
Nature
liked the
Fragile
ending
Things
of that
ended.
one. So maybe I'd still like it.
So maybe, did I think the ending? Do I like the ending?
I mean, I love the ending.
No,
Do
I
you
thought
not
it was
like
very.
these endings
Where everything's tied up.
off the record here? So do things not end happily?
In this
Would
book.
I not like the ending?
No, it ended fine. It was just stupid.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
okay.
I
So
think
I
I
probably
like.
like
I think I like the Nature of Fragile Things. Okay. I guess it's just the last 2 books I've read of hers. The ending left me like, really, all that hype and build up, and then, okay. So that's my only thing. This one just had a very odd storyline at the ending, where it's like, he married that guy, who's married to that girl. Like, it was just this odd triangle thing that happened that I was like, maybe there's some beauty in this, but I just think it's weird. So,
Okay.
so I think it's definitely worth a read though.
Okay.
So,
Okay, mine next is Station 11, which I did read.
and
You know, I really liked it. I guess
I
I don't
liked it
have.
too.
I really liked it. I thought it was really interesting, especially having gone through the pandemic. It was like, yeah, no, that
did that
could
kind of
happen.
freak you out a little bit?
I was never freaked out by it, but I was like, I
Because
think.
you read it before the
I
Okay,
read
I
it
was gonna
right
say
before.
the pandemic, I think I would have thought, oh, it's kind of unbelievable, right? Just like
Yeah.
because would it really wipe out everything? But having lived through the pandemic, which I
We're still
understand,
living, Camille.
we're still all living.
Stop your
And I
insensitivity.
understand that it's not nearly the same
Ugh.
thing, but seeing a virus that was that contagious, I can see how something could happen like that.
Yeah. Or even just the feeling. Like the feeling of
Absolutely,
that book.
yes.
It's like, yes, our whole world was not wiped out.
Right.
But the feeling of that like panic
Yeah,
and
like,
that
oh, I gotta
like,
go to the
Protect
store.
yourself at all costs.
Yes, yes. So I thought it was fascinating.
I liked it too.
I flew through. Like I didn't have any problem finding time to read that. I was like, y'all go away. I got to do this for the podcast.
I'm working.
I'm working here. I'm working
Light
in my
another
earbuds.
candle. Light another candle. I'm working.
You're fine. Stop it. Go make dinner. Yeah, I really liked it. I thought that one was cool.
Yeah, I liked it.
All right, we on to our next one?
Did you read that one?
I got through half of it.
Oh, and Andrew didn't like it.
I don't know, I just had a hard time getting into it.
Okay.
So,
I just would like to say, I just looked up Ichabod on Goodreads.
uh-huh.
It has a 3.97 rating
Oh.
out of 4.
Oh.
So maybe I need to try harder to get it.
Yeah, people really like it. 4,000 reviews, 4 and 5-star reviews.
All right, I'm gonna go get it on Interlibrary Loan.
Yeah, I think I want to
I'll
try
get
it.
I'm so proud. I got a book on Interlibrary Loan for our book club next year. Like I thought, I'm just gonna start trying to get some of these books. I got a book all the way from, where was it from? North Dakota.
Really?
I thought they stayed within the state,
Oh.
but they go all over.
Really?
Yeah, so I assume I can get any book I
Maybe,
want.
yeah.
You can do anything.
Yeah, like that is like a lot of power.
I know. I'm gonna
What else
request
can
some
you
like
order from across the country?
Egyptian script.
I want,
See if I can get it from the Dead Sea Scrolls.
I want King Tut here. Give me.
Give me touch.
Interlibrary Loan. There's a grant going on right now at ours that we don't even pay for it. So I'm going off to Egyptian scripture.
Yeah.
Right, we don't, do we?
No.
My gosh, I want some papyrus now.
Give me papyrus.
I
Or
might
give
take
me
five
death.
dollars.
Yeah, get some Intermountain Loan.
Interlibrary Loan.
Whatever.
From the Intermountain West. Next up.
Did you say your book?
No.
Okay,
Oh, what is
next
it?
up is my only self-help book, and it was Atomic Habits, which I've been trying to read forever.
Yeah.
And of course, it's an amazing book.
It's amazing.
Yes. I mean, the only thing is, I feel like at this point we've heard a lot of that, like because now a lot of self-help people and podcasts, they use those principles. Like I think when it first came out,
Atomic Habits
people were like, "Whoa!"
Yeah.
And now you hear those. But I mean, the things that he says to just get you organizing and making a habit a real making a behavior a habit,
Mm-hmm.
it really is incredible.
Yeah.
Definitely worth a read.
It's worth a read.
Yes.
It's a good one. I agree.
Nice.
I feel like I've read everybody's book.
I know,
I've
but
read
You're
everybody's
like,
book
let's
series.
hold hands. Definitely worth a read. Absolutely. You get that Intermountain book.
Okay, the only one I have not finished is Small Great Things.
Oh, what's that?
And it is a book about, now I'm worried I'm thinking of the wrong book, but I'm pretty sure I'm not.
Never heard of that
There
at all.
is a nurse
Okay.
who is African American,
Okay.
and a young couple who comes in to deliver the baby who are white supremacists.
Oh.
And she ends up being the nurse on duty, and it's like a very busy night at the hospital, and she is the only one that can be there. And the dad's not kind about it. And then the baby ends up dying in the night while the nurse is on duty. And you could see how this could become a big issue. So it's going through like.
This is a fiction, right?
Yes.
Okay, all right.
So it's going through her history and her experiences with race, and then this couple who it turns out the woman who had the baby, her father was the leader of the white supremacy group in that area, and her husband was the very troubled youth who had like abusive parents who kind of got brought in, like he belonged to something finally. And so that's how they met, and like, so it's about like his troubled childhood, the girl's influence. It's like really interesting.
Yeah.
So I've
Sounds
only gotten
interesting.
halfway through, and then I got distracted with 64 other books.
Yeah.
So now I need to bring it back around.
Yeah.
But I've heard it's really good. I've heard lots of people that really liked it. So
That sounds interesting.
Yeah.
I love it when authors take a different approach
yeah.
Yeah.
to the way that they tell a story that is new and interesting and keeps you. That was one of the things that I liked about Station 11,
Yeah.
is because she took these key characters that had no connection, but then connected them and weaved it throughout the whole book. And
Like a beautiful tapestry.
it was a beautiful tapestry of weaves
Oh, the
and all
weaves.
anyway, that was one thing I liked about her, is I like it when they'll do something creative and original that makes you do more than just listen.
Yeah.
You actually think about it.
Yeah.
All right.
It's good. Hey, what you got?
Daddy Longlegs.
Oh, we all read that
We all
one.
read that. We
Yeah.
all said it was lovely and light.
Yes.
And yep, it was good.
Okay.
There you go. I read that one. See, I came out on the good end of things, because for book club we read more of my books than your guys's.
That's
Yeah,
true.
that was, every
Yeah.
book I suggest, you guys are like, no. I'm like, what about this language, Beth? What about this content, Beth? What about this? Oh, thought-provoking themes, Beth.
You
Let's
just
read Daddy Longlegs.
smut.
So much smut.
Yeah.
Well, we at least picked one book from each of our lists to do for book club.
Yes,
so
we did.
this my last one on
Oh,
the
okay.
list is The Book of Longings,
Oh, yeah.
which I had heard was so good.
Which was somewhere between a 1 and a 5, depending on what part of the book club you were listening to.
And yeah, I can't say I loved it. I didn't even really like it.
I can't say I loved it. I didn't even really like it.
I thought that the history of it was very fascinating. What a woman during it was like during the time period of Jesus. It's about a historical, well, let's see, how do I say this? It creates a story as if Jesus was married, and so it's about his wife, but it takes a very non-religious viewpoint of it. And I think that's where my struggle was. I had a really hard time taking Jesus out of religion. Like, taking away his
Taking
divinity.
religion out of
Yes.
right,
Yes.
his divinity
But
out.
that is why we all agree that the epilogue, or like the end author's note, needed to be put at the beginning of the book,
Yeah.
where it says, I intentionally took the divinity out of Christ. I only wanted him to be the man side of him. And I'm like, why did you just say that in the beginning? Because the whole book we were all bugged
I know.
that was.
Well, I just figured, then why didn't you do like John the Baptist or something? Like, why did it have to be Jesus?
Well, that's like saying, why not do, I don't
John
know,
the
some
Baptist.
third string quarterback instead of Tom Brady.
Okay.
It's like,
yeah,
you know,
it's true. It
I
would
called,
change the story.
I called John the Baptist a third string quarterback. You heard it. And I don't regret it. You know, it's just like you could have done any
Yes,
biblical
it's
person.
true.
It's like you got to go for the main event. You got to have Brett Favre.
Yeah. Well,
You know.
I didn't care for it because those things bothered me, but I did enjoy learning about just what it was like to be a woman during that time period. I thought that was fascinating,
Sure.
but I didn't care for the book and would not recommend it.
Do not. How do I say this?
It's not a memoir.
Under no circumstance read this book. Like, if a gun is to your head, just die. All right?
I don't want to take this too seriously.
No, but die. Okay. Okay. Well, my last book and
Oh,
my
yeah.
best book
Mhm.
on this list. I loved it more than Man's Search for Meaning. Maybe Still Alice. Different from What Alice
I
Forgot.
was gonna say,
Oh, no,
I
I
haven't
haven't
heard
heard
of
You
Still
haven't.
Alice.
You were nodding like you knew, and I was like, you
Oh,
don't know.
I
This
don't
is
know.
a different Alice.
I haven't heard of this at all.
Okay, they
Just
made a
kidding,
movie out
yes.
of it. The
Okay.
redhead, like Julianne. You know that redheaded actor, and she's lovely, and she's been in other movies.
Julianne Moore?
Is
No, she's
No.
older.
she's older.
She is redhead.
Okay, maybe it's her.
Okay.
They made a movie about
Okay.
this book. Is all
Recently?
I'm saying. Like within the last 5 years, I'd say.
Okay.
I haven't seen the movie yet.
Oh, okay.
Okay, but it's about a Harvard professor. I don't know.
So
if
it's
this
not the same Alice?
Is, no, it's a different Alice.
Oh,
It's confusing because they're both
Okay.
fantastic and they're both named Alice.
Yeah, that's what I thought this was a sequel, and I was scared to read it
No.
because I really liked the one
How it
how it
ended. No.
ended. I didn't want to go on.
No.
Okay.
Still Alice is about a Harvard psychology professor.
You need to
Is this
push.
a problem that it's saying low
It's-
battery?
No, it's just.
Yeah,
you need
it
to just
stopped.
push that.
No, it didn't stop.
Oh, it didn't stop. Okay.
There we go.
There you go.
Sorry.
So it's about a Harvard professor of psychology who gets early onset Alzheimer's. It's so good.
Ooh.
This is why I loved it. She's like 50. It's her 50th birthday.
Okay.
She's starting to like just kind of things
Yeah,
are slipping, right?
Yeah.
And she goes for a run and has a moment where she's like at Harvard, but she cannot figure out where she is. She's looking around like, I know where I am, but I have no idea how to get home. Like she was just so confused for like a few minutes.
Yeah.
And so she realizes like just things like that keep happening, goes to a doctor, gets the diagnosis. Her doctor's like, you are losing your memory. You've got to bring family here with you. I can't trust you. You're losing your memory. But she doesn't want to tell her family because her whole identity is her mind. And like
Yeah.
her brilliant mind and her high level of education and Harvard professor, and she teaches and all of these things, and it's just like this, it's just fantastic. And it's this story of her losing her mind but also gaining relationships that had been lost, and how her husband deals with it, how the kids deal with it. It's great.
Same author.
No, completely different.
Really?
Just wants to stick those books.
It
together.
has nothing to
I have
do-
always in my mind they are the same.
I know. It has
Okay.
nothing to do
Wow.
with that Alice.
Okay.
But it's interesting, they're both a similar idea where
Yes.
they lose this, but this is a story of Alzheimer's, so she never gets it back.
Right.
And that one is,
Well,
and
you
it's
yeah.
it's just, to me, when I was reading, I was like, you know what this is? Oh, this is a great book club book.
Yeah.
Because, like, there's just so many things in it that, like, how the family reacted, that I was like, really? Why would you act that way? How would I act? Like,
Yeah.
lots of just like, what? How are you gonna be able to help us? And I was like, how is she gonna be able to help you? She has no mind. Like, I don't know, it's just super interesting. It was great. You guys should read it.
I
Okay.
do want to
I
I'd
will
say
read that one.
5 stars.
I will read that one. That's
'Kay.
that's good.
It was really good.
Okay, so it's the sequel to what I was.
Yeah, no,
Perfect. Okay.
correct. Absolutely. I'll tell you who it's by.
Okay.
It is Still Alice by Lisa Genova. Oh,
Oh.
this is the only criticism I have.
Okay.
Lisa Genova is the author. She also read the book. Now, I'm here to say, just because you can write well.
Oh,
Does
she read it on
not-
Audible.
Yes.
I meant she read her own book,
Yeah,
and
that
I was
sounds
like,
like
so she's
she
literate.
read the book to
Oh.
me. And just because you can write well does not mean you can
Yeah.
read well.
No, those are
Like,
two very different
people
things.
who, like, narrators are so talented.
Yes.
Like,
yes.
a great narrator
Oh.
makes a great book. This, I feel like, was hard because of the narration.
The two best books I've ever heard read were the Harry Potter series
Jim.
and
You're gonna say Murder on the Orient Express.
oh no, there are three. Murder on the Orient Express and
Jane.
Jane.
My Lady Jane.
My Lady Jane. Oh, my
fantastic.
gosh, that is a ride.
You have got to
You
listen.
gotta listen to it.
You are missing out on a
It's
great
like half the fun
Oh.
was the reader.
So
Oh
good.
my gosh.
There's a trend.
Yeah.
The British author.
They're author.
They read so much better than us. So yes, Lisa should not have read her own book.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
like when people, like when it's a self-help book or like a
Yeah.
that, because they have an insight that maybe someone else wouldn't have.
Right.
But when
Yeah.
it's just a novel, I'm like, no,
No.
hire someone.
Yeah. Definitely.
Definitely. I could have done better, Lisa. No, I
Yeah.
couldn't. I'm a horrible reader.
Yeah.
But,
Okay.
so just be aware, if you're gonna listen, I thought it was a rough
I'm not
read.
gonna listen.
Okay,
That just sealed the deal.
okay, buy it.
Okay. So this is an interesting book that I am halfway through right now, and I am enjoying quite a lot.
Oh.
So it's called Jane and the Unpleasantness at Scargrave Manor, which is a very long title. I
Did
know
you
that.
just, was this on your list or did you just make this up right now?
No, it's on the list.
I don't remember ever seeing that.
I'll show you.
Prove it.
It's on our pictures.
Yeah.
You can go
You
look.
know what? There's way too many words in that title.
I
I'm
know,
not reading
you're
it.
out
That's
already.
already
I know
out.
you're out, and it's okay. This one's not for you, Beth.
Okay.
So this was a great present that was given to me, and so I don't know if it's true or not true. Okay, the preface to this book is that in like I think it's the eastern United States. There was a manuscript that was dug up, and I don't remember the whole story of how it got there.
Near the papayas.
Yes,
Exactly.
they put in an
It was an
interlibrary
interlibrary
loan.
loan back from the 1500s. Anyway, and this apparently these were papers that Jane Austen actually wrote to her nieces, and she had this experience with a friend who was a young woman who married a widower. So she married up. Okay,
I'm
just stick
so
with
lost, but
me.
okay.
Hey, listen to
The
me.
title
Okay,
and the
stop.
description
Okay,
are both
stop.
so long.
Okay, stop.
Okay.
We're gonna start here.
So she's
Okay.
married to a widower.
Okay, so this is a story of a young woman who is married to a widower. Okay, and the widower dies like within a couple weeks of them getting
Minutes.
married,
Oh.
and it turns out that he was murdered,
Oh.
and everyone starts suspecting the young bride.
Well, yeah.
Well, she was best friends with Jane Austen.
Naturally.
So Jane was staying there because they were having a party at their house when he got poisoned.
Oh my.
And so she was staying there, and so it's this mystery that she has written down, and supposedly it was supposed to be given to her nieces. It's her.
Wait, so is this a memoir?
Or an
I'm
autobiography.
only half done. That's what I'm saying. I
Is
don't
this
know.
a real thing or a fake thing?
I don't
like,
know.
Is this an actual story from Jane's life?
I
Is
don't
Jane
know
Austen a
because
real
it
person?
says it. Listen, it says in the preface that this is real, and it was like assembled. Like they found this in this manner, this story that was given to her nieces, and her nieces had lived in this area, and so they were saying, no, this really is this almost. I wouldn't say it's a memoir, but a true story that she wrote with her thoughts in it to give to her nieces to help them to learn some of the things that she learned from this experience. So I don't know if that's true or not, but
I
it's a
don't
heck
know
of a
either.
interesting premise, and it's a great story.
Would
so
I like
I'm in the
it?
middle. No,
Okay.
no,
for
you
sure
wouldn't
not.
like it because it's
now I'm kind of interested.
well, maybe you'd
Although
love
I
it.
hate hit mysteries. I
Ask
think
it-
they're stupid.
Okay, so so here's my vote.
Start again. So the girl married a widower.
Okay, let me start over. There's a manor and a man
Stop
and
it.
Jane.
Tell me.
Okay, I want to save my review until I finish it,
Okay.
but I think I'm going to love it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, I think I'm going to love it. It's fascinating and intriguing, but it's also
And
Jane Austen
You
language.
think it's
Oh,
true.
forget it.
So I know you wouldn't
Yeah, I
like it.
can't talk to her.
Yeah.
I did read-
I don't speak her language.
I think it was a Nicholas Sparks book. I'm pretty sure it
Oh,
was. One of those
Nicholas.
famous.
Just stupid love stories.
Yes. I had a project I was doing, and so I just looked on Libby. It was like, okay, what can I listen to while I'm doing this project? And-
Smart.
It talked like in first person, like the author, if it was Nicholas Sparks, I think it was him. Like, I went to this place and I found this story and da-da-da. So I go through this whole story, and it is like a crazy story. And I'm telling my kids, like, oh my gosh, this happened, this amazing love story. And then come to find out the very end of the story, he just
Oh.
inserted his own first person because I thought it would help the story if
Oh my
I was in it. And it was totally not true.
Oh, that's mean.
I thought
That
it was
is
very
That's
mean.
like heartbreaking.
That's
Yes.
manipulative.
Broke your heart
I was
that
like,
day.
that's a dumb
Deceptive.
story, Nicholas.
Nicholas.
You're an idiot.
I didn't love it, and I certainly didn't like it.
I didn't love it necessarily, but I would also never read it. It was stupid. Oh, so you didn't like it at all?
Yes.
I sometimes read a book and think, I could write that. But then I get distracted after the second page. Because I'm just like, this is so stupid. All we did was
Yeah.
take a bunch of characters and make them like, oh, darling, let's get mad at each other. Now we're mad for 6 chapters. Okay, that was stupid.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Well, I just watched. Okay, I don't know really what station it was, but I got onto this
Just say
station and I
anything.
thought it was like a Hallmark movie, but it was like a B-rated Hallmark movie.
What?
Like it was.
Hallmark movies are already like D-rated,
Yeah,
so this
Hallmark
is like
movies
a
are not good. They're fantastic, but they're not good.
Okay, yeah,
They're
yeah.
amazing.
The
But
quality
this
is-
was so
Even
insanely
worse.
stupid. Like this
Okay.
is beneath Hallmark,
Okay.
and I was like, unbelievable. I just spent 2 hours.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
It's like people cross on the street and they're like, oh my, I love you forever and always. And the whole movie is built around that. And I thought, well, no wonder girls think they're in love.
Yeah.
They're watching this.
They watched a B-rated Hallmark movie.
That's
and
what it is.
ruined.
Yeah, your love story's a B-rated Hallmark movie.
Guys, I'm really proud of us.
Yeah.
We did hard things. Now, when we have to delve into the other goals we set and admit the failure there,
Ooh.
but books, you can count on us.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, it's not like those are the only books I read. I could have been reading
Oh.
those, but I read about 57 of
I was
them.
gonna say, we all plowed through a lot of books. We just may not have gotten through all of those.
Yeah,
But
some great ones.
All right. Well, if you want more book suggestions, we do have a book club. I don't know if you've tuned in, but when we get together, which is about every 6 weeks, we do an Instagram live with the book club. And this year we're being a little bit more organized about it. And
Right.
so we have the book club published. You can see exactly what we're reading for the whole next year for our book club. And so then you just need to know when we're getting together, and you can tune in and comment with us, tell us what you thought of the book. So I have already read 2.5 of those books.
Oh,
Are you
nice.
serious?
Yes,
I'm
because I was worried how long interlibrary loan would take.
Yeah.
I'm
That
trying to read them
Intermountain
closer because I always read them and then months go by and
I
I'm
am
like,
worried about
I
that.
don't remember.
But I have read 2 of them have
Which
been
ones?
very good.
Which ones?
Well, we all have already read The Midnight Library.
I'm
Excellent.
actually
Fantastic.
3/4 of the way through.
Oh,
Fantastic.
Camille's not all the way
Well, it
through.
was the Scargrave Manor. That's why I ditched that one and finished. I'm working through Midnight.
Okay.
And then I have now read the Death Education or Deathly Education. I can't remember what it's called. Something like that. And I liked it. It's good.
I have no memory of what that one is.
Me neither.
It's
Is that the
Harry
fantasy?
Potter-ish. Yes.
Okay.
Oh, that's
why.
right. That's
it's
right.
like a
Okay.
darker Harry Potter.
Okay.
But-
Yeah, that's right.
But I liked it. It was good. And then I'm halfway through
Okay, you
Don't
better-
Hold Still, Just
Oh,
Hold
yeah.
On or
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
halfway through that one.
Oh my.
Hold still but keep moving.
Yes.
Or something
Something
like
like that. Yeah. So anyway, if you
Stop
want to
that
get in the
from
book club, you just need to find the books, get reading them, and then watch Instagram to know when we are going to get on and do the live. And it's a lot of fun.
It's a lot of fun, and they're not super long. They're like
No.
half an hour. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
if you can do one of these, you can do one of those.
You can push through this.